Hi guys, today it is time for another Top 5 Wednesday. This week's topic are your top 5 father figures, a topic I really loved. Actually have one honorable mention just because I didn't want to leave this person out, and so yeah, let's get into it. My honorable mention goes to Luke from the Mortal Instruments series, and I really feel like he is a super important father figure for Clary. He really tries to protect her with everything that he can, and I feel like Clary really sees him, well, not quite as a father maybe, but I do feel like she feels really like safe in his environment and she trusts him a lot. So I could not mention him, also because I just really like Luke in general. I just felt like in comparison to the other ones, he doesn't feel quite as much like a father, or we don't really see him have that role as much, but still I feel like, you know, I just wanted to mention him. My number 5 is the two dads from Lola and the Boy Next Door. This is kind of cheating as well, I guess, because it's both of them, but I feel like they just work really well as a team, because I always thought that they had a really nice balance, because one of them was just a bit more strict than the other. I just felt like they both had a very clear picture in mind together as to how they wanted to bring her up, and then you still had like a difference with one of them being a bit more strict, I felt like, and the other one often like giving her a bit more freedom. And I just always really liked these dynamics in a parent relationship, and so I really enjoyed reading about them. And while they were strict quite often, and sometimes you were like, oh my god, give this girl her freedom, it also felt like when she really needed them, they were there for her, and you could tell how much they loved her, even though they did have some differences and some problems. I felt like they handled a teenage daughter super well. On number 4, I have Mr. Bennet from Pride and Prejudice, and I do have to say that it's been quite a long time since I've read the actual book, and so this is really influenced by the 2005, I want to say, movie version with Keira Knightley, and the father there is played by the one and only President Snow, Donald Sutherland. I just really like his portrayal. Also how he kind of seems, especially in the beginning, a bit cold and a bit like he doesn't care too much, and you know, the mother is always like there and around the children and is kind of, you know, being really active around them, and you don't see that too much of the dad, but you also see that he, you know, tries to kind of calm the whole thing down. He's obviously trying to think of his family, and you know, I do think he wants to get his daughters out of the house pretty soon as well, but first he has in mind that his daughters are really happy, and you know, he wants them to marry people that they actually love and not someone just because they have a lot of money. It's another one where I feel like he really has two sides, and from the outside he definitely kind of looks like he doesn't care too much and stuff like that, but you can really tell how much he loves his daughters. I'm just thinking of the very last scene in the movie, which is one of my all-time favorite scenes. It is another scene that I think speaks a lot about how much he loves his daughters, and how for him money or anything is not important. For him it's most important that he knows that they are happy and that they really love the person. And it's so strong in that scene because he almost like cares so much that he's asking, are you sure about this, because you had a different opinion a while back. And yeah, I really like him. As I said, I don't remember much from him from the book, but I don't care, honestly. My number 3 is Mo from the Tintenherz trilogy by Cornelia Funke, which is the Inkheart trilogy. It's another series where it has been a really long time since I've read this, so it's not something where I can talk much about, but I just remember having so many feels about Mo. And I know he is not a perfect dad and he does a lot of mistakes, but he is also just someone that you can tell he loves Maggie so much, and you know, that's just the most important thing. Educating and manners and stuff like this, of course it's important, but if someone is really bringing up their child perfectly but doesn't give them enough love, then that fucking sucks. I'd rather have someone like Mo, who maybe is sometimes a bit confused with how to do whole parenting stuff, but you can tell that he is like really a father that loves his child and just wants his child to be happy. Number 2 is someone I think that will make many lists, and that is Hans Huberman from the book Thief. It's always so hard to talk about the book Thief, I feel like, because, you know, just mentioning it brings up so many emotions. It's just that you need to read this book to experience the magic that is in it and that is in the relationships between all the different characters in this one. It's another one where I feel like the dynamics in the family work really well, where he is kind of the one that is able to welcome Liesel into the family a bit more. I feel like he is really the one that makes her feel home and then makes her feel like, you know, this is her new family. He's just so full of love for her. You can really tell that he really wants to include her in the family and wants her to feel like home, and I think that's just really beautiful. And my number 1 is not really a surprise, I guess. For me, it was the first one that I wrote down when I thought of the answers I wanted to have, and basically someone I always mention when I talk about favorite father figures, and that is Sirius Black from the Harry Potter series. Disclaimer right away, I'm not saying that Sirius is perfect or that he is not doing something wrong or that he is, you know, not sometimes mistreating Harry, but he is just such an important person to Harry. He doesn't know how to handle a child, so of course he will do many things wrong, and, you know, he will not trust Harry much because he doesn't even know him that well. I feel like while he is so flawed as a character and as a father figure, he is someone that is so dear to me and so important to me in this position that he has. Not only to me, but to Harry as well. Harry has just grown a lot and knows a lot about love and stuff thanks to Sirius, and that is, I feel like, the most important part. I love so much how immediately after they kind of met and get, you know, over the problems, I just call it right now, he immediately says he wants to take care, he wants to make a home for Harry and stuff like that, so I feel like that shows a lot. He wants to redeem himself for what he hasn't actually done. Yeah, I just love Sirius a lot. I have a lot of feelings. And these were my top 5 father figures, or, you know, top 6. Definitely let me know what made your list and if you agree or disagree with any that I mentioned. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I guess I'll see you soon. Bye!